I know that, most of the facilities are open, well into the evening to give people who work a little bit later a chance to get in and get a workout. I mean, oftentimes there's aerobics classes and different classes going on at 8 and 9 o'clock in the evening. Basketball leagues, I think, go well into the evening as well. The pool's open. We just, again, it's that effort in trying to be accessible for everyone and trying to be inclusive. I think the Y takes that very seriously, and we definitely want to keep that going. My father, who grew up here in Evanston, used the Emerson Street Y all the time as a boy growing up. So yes, I'm very familiar with the history and how important that was to Evanston, and how many people really still look back with very fond memories of the Emerson Street Y and what it was able to do for a certain community here in Evanston. It was a home. I know there have been some books written about the significance of the Emerson Street Y and to the African American community in Evanston, and how many of its leaders, were developed at the Emerson Street Y. So yeah, it was again a tremendous body, for the African American community. At a time when there weren't a lot of outlets and a lot of opportunity, I think, for African American youth, the Emerson Street Y was there. They had a pool, a gymnasium, and which was probably fairly rare in the African American communities anywhere in the country at that time to have those kind of facilities. So the kids, I think, really benefited from that. And from what I'm to understand, there were always tremendous programs there, ranging, and from arts through athletics, that really helped to mold, a couple of generations. The Y dances were a lot of fun, and I guess, all my memories of the Y are very, very fond memories. There wasn't a bad time at the Y because it was so much fun, and there were so many different things to do there. And it seems like when I was there, I was always with my buddies, or when I was a little guy with my dad. So when you're having fun and smiling all the time, it's always good memories. It gave you an opportunity to meet boys and girls from different neighborhoods in Evanston in a very safe, structured environment where friendships could be fostered that obviously would later develop and bloom as you went into high school, and everyone was thrown in the mix together. But I think again they talk about how all the kids in Evanston seem to know or have a familiarity with one another, and I think it's because of institutions like the Y that the kids here in Evanston feel that way. Well, I hope the Y can continue to be a very, very important part of the Evanston community, and I hope it can continue to develop and grow to meet the needs of an ever-changing and evolving community here in Evanston. And I'm certain that it will, because there's such great leadership there, not only in the board level but in the management level of the Y. I'm always very impressed with the people that I meet there who are running the various activities, who are just running even the day-to-day activities. They do it with such relish. They're very into their jobs. They take such pride in it, and it really shows. I mean, you walk into the Y and there's a very good, open, friendly vibe, and that's important. And I think the Y will continue to grow and be a vibrant part of Evanston because so many people want it to be that. I mean, the legacy of the Y, I think, mirrors the legacy which is Evanston. I mean, Evanston is a very close-knit community, in that people who grew up here tend to move back and want to raise their families. And it's because of institutions like the Y that I think people work so hard to come back here. And it's great when you see grandparents who use the Y bringing their grandchildren in and still getting a lot out of the Y, because hopefully these kids are going to grow up and use the Y, and then one day have children and they will use the Y, and hopefully 100 years from now they will be taking their grandchildren or probably great-grandchildren and using the Y as well. The Y is here to stay. It's been here for 125 years, served a tremendous purpose to so many generations who, who all look fondly upon their memories and their activities and the benefits that they received from the Y. And it's still as strong today as it was when they started the Y here in Evanston 125 years ago. And I'm willing to bet, because so many people are working so hard, that 125 years from now it will be just as strong and just as vibrant for whatever type of community Evanston is then. Junior high is often a difficult and a period of tremendous growth for a lot of kids. And again, I go back to our high school Y leaders. They were great guys, and even the Y leaders that we had that were employed at the Y, I can throw out a name, Tim Ellinger, who was at the McGaw YMCA when I was in junior high, was a tremendous leader for us. Again, Gavin Wilson, who is a neighbor of mine now. We really looked up to Gavin. Scott Jones, Mike Duvall, who I knew through my church growing up as a kid, and then obviously through the Y, was also an older kid who we just really looked up to. But these guys all set a very good role model for us. They were great students, great athletes. These are the guys who were always doing the right things, never got in any trouble, and we tried to emulate them, and hopefully with some degree of success. I have 3 children who've all used the Y or are currently using the Y in some capacity. My oldest absolutely loves Camp Echo. Just finished her 3rd season or 4th season at Camp Echo this summer. Loves it and is looking forward to developing into a LIT, leadership and training, and progressing that way. She thinks Camp Echo is, it's really one of the highlights of her summer. And my youngest, who is 7 years old, can't wait till she's old enough to go and follow her sister. I think it's great that the friendships that I made there as a kid are still vibrant today. Many of the guys who were on my Y Club live in Evanston now and are still my very close buddies. John Boakes, Craig Lickety, and these guys were all in the same Y Club together, and we're still very close today. Our families socialize together. We play golf together, hang out together, go out and grab a cocktail when we can together. So yeah, and that's all because of the Y. I think the Y is, it's a meeting point. And it brings a lot of people together in a very constructive way, so they can all, benefit from, the values that I think many of us hold collectively here in Evanston.